So we were on stream yesterday talking about this, and I just wanted to elaborate on it. I really don't think that I could date an actress, and for reasons that I'm not sure if this makes me, as people say, insecure, or just I don't know. So I'm just going to present it to you guys as well. So the conversation came up because we were talking about the movie Sinners, which of course I've said this a billion times, but just to reiterate, number one, I think the movie is excellent. I thought all the actors were really, really good in their roles. The believability of the chemistry between some of these people was palpable, for lack of better words. And I want to reiterate, I am not saying anything about the actors or actresses involved in what I'm talking about specifically. I don't think that they're doing anything that's wrong. This is just what comes with the job. But when you're playing in roles that are romantic, there's just something to it where you cannot fake chemistry. And I think that all of the actors that had romantic interest in this movie were really, really believable in these roles. So without any spoilers, this isn't giving anything away. There are leads in this movie that have romantic interests, and namely two different women have romantic interest in Michael B. Jordan in the movie. Happens to be Haley Steinfeld. And it's funny enough, when we were talking about this, I said the same thing. I'm a huge fan of Josh Allen. I think he's a great player. This isn't a slight on her or him. This is just an actress doing her. So I see this article that says Sinners fans claim Haley Steinfeld's on-screen romance will make fiance Josh Allen sick. And without going into detail, I will just say there are many scenes in this that are racy, for lack of better words. And also from watching some of the press releases and interviews and red carpets that they've done, there's a chemistry between them that seems, in all honesty, just friendly. It doesn't seem like there's extracurricular activity going on. It doesn't seem like they have something going on the side.
You've got your friend Michael B. Jordan co-starring in this with you. What is he like as a friend? Is he a person you could call and say, hey,
Oh my
can you
God.
pick me up on the side of the road? I just experienced a breakdown, you know?
Absolutely.
Is he that kind of
yeah,
friend?
100%. Go away. We're talking about you. Please.
But I think a lot of people, and even myself included, was just saying that it would be just hard to watch this going down. And I am by no means a jealous person when it comes to relationships. I'm not the type of guy that says, oh, my girlfriend or wife can't speak to other men, or especially if she's an actress. I'm not going to sit and say, oh, well, I don't want you doing those types of scenes. The only thing that I am stating is I do agree with the headline of this article. If I was if I was someone for hypothetically saying I'm Josh Allen and I'm dating Haley Steinfeld, or their other love interests in the film, it would be hard for me to watch this. So I'm just going to paint a picture for you. And I was just thinking about this and saying, am I a jealous person? Am I insecure? Because if I'm dating someone and I have to go to a premiere with them per se, and I'm sitting there eating popcorn with my significant other and I'm going, oh yeah, you did a great job. You know, I can't talk about the scenes in the movie, but again, they're very racy. It's just not something that I would want to see personally. I would not want to see my significant other pretending to be in love with anybody else, even if it was for lack of better, but she did a great job doing it. It's not her fault. And Haley Steinfeld and Josh Allen are engaged. So I just think that it would be really tough to look and watch these things happen on screen. I think it takes a strong person to just sit there and just say, hey, great job. And I just don't know if I personally have the stomach for it. Now, there have been instances in the past where things started out as an on-screen thing and then turned to an off-screen thing. And I do have a few examples. One of the more popular ones from when I was a kid was the Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt romance. If you don't know, their marriage was the result of an on-screen romance between her and Brad Pitt. Now, originally, it was widely speculated, and I'm going right here, she was involved in a prominent scandal. She was accused of causing the divorce of actors Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. She fell in love with him during the filming of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and it all kind of budded from there. And Jennifer Aniston kind of just is an actress herself, understood the role, and it does happen in this situation. Recently, there was another one that happened in the same, and this one was between actress Sydney Sweeney and actor Glenn Powell. Now, if you don't know, they performed in a movie called Anyone But You, where they portrayed a couple that kind of started off bad. I didn't watch the movie, but I kind of just got the Cliff's Notes. They started off not liking each other, pretending to be in a relationship, and it turned into a romance. And throughout the entire press tour before, during, and after this movie, it was widely speculated that their chemistry looked so believable and so real that there must have been something going on. It was never confirmed from any source, but she was engaged to someone else this entire time. Lo and behold, recently, Sydney Sweeney called off her engagement to another person, and then it wasn't very long after that she showed up at Glenn Powell's sister's wedding together. And it's just kind of been this whole thing where people are speculating, and it says here he addressed the rumors after they attended, and he just said, timing is everything. Now, I don't know what that means, but if I was engaged to Sydney Sweeney and thought something was going on between her and another actor, and then after we call off the engagement, she pops up at a wedding, I would probably be sick, as they said about Josh Allen. Again, I am talking about the original thing. I just want to reiterate this once again. I do not think there's something happening between Haley Steinfeld and Michael B. Jordan. I think their relationship was professional. I do think that they did a great job in the movie. Doesn't necessarily mean anything is going on, but there's been so many people in comment sections on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, and all of these different platforms saying, oh, there must be something going on. It just takes a really strong partner to just sit there and be like, well, I trust. And I'm not saying you shouldn't trust her, but you just have to sit there and say, oh, well, the world is talking about how great of a couple that your fiance would be with another guy. It would make me sick to my stomach. And I just don't think that I have the stomach to do that. It's one of those things in relationships when you talk about, you know what you're doing when you sign up with somebody. So if you date, for example, a professional athlete, I'm not talking about the infidelity things, because I do think that it's not true necessarily that every athlete is a cheater or anything like that. But you still know when you sign up to date an athlete that a lot of days around the calendar, you will not be with them because they're on the road traveling, especially in season. They spend a lot of time at the facility, or if you're an athlete, they're at practices. So you're going to have to kind of deal with the fact that they have this other thing and this first love. An example of that is when Gisele Bündchen got sick of the fact that Tom Brady just wouldn't retire and come home. And Tom Brady was like, I'm still the GOAT and I'm going to go play. And eventually it led to a divorce. And she supposedly is now with her martial arts instructor or something like that. But these things can put a tremendous strain on a relationship. And when we were talking about that, I just kind of put myself in Josh Allen's shoes. And even though if I trust her, it still would just be incredibly difficult to watch that happening on screen and just cheer your girlfriend or wife or fiance on and just kind of deal with it. So I'm not here to play devil's advocate or anything. I'm not here to speculate on the rumors. It's just the hypothetical of, if I was dating someone, I know it would be incredibly difficult to deal with. I mean, people get mad about work husbands and work wives and the quote unquote relationship they have at work, even though a lot of times there's not a lot going on. Just imagine if your work wife or work husband had to make out with someone on screen for millions of people to see, even if it's just a job, which it is. I don't know if I could deal with it. And I don't think that makes me insecure. I just think that makes me, I don't want to see it. And I just wanted to present that. So I present this question to you. Write it in the comment section. I want to have dialogue about this. Could you deal with it? And are you the type of person that would either A, kind of just take it as it comes, as far as you would say, well, I'll just deal with it when we get to that point? Or are you the type of person like me that there's just certain professions that I just don't think that I could date? I don't think it makes you a bad person either way. I think everyone has preferences and boundaries in relationships, and you shouldn't be at fault for not wanting to or wanting to date someone however you see fit, as long as you are consenting to whatever it is. So I just wanted to talk about that. And yeah, I had to have this conversation with you guys.